Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into something pretty big, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, EuroHPC.
Ah, interesting.
It's this European Union thing, this initiative they got going on. And it's pretty ambitious to build like a world-class supercomputing infrastructure across Europe.
Across all of Europe.
Yeah, all of Europe. So we're going to use an essay by Jörg-Owe to guide us.
Okay.
So what's interesting here is Europe's really trying to catch up here. To the U.S. and China.
Oh, in supercomputing.
Yeah, in supercomputing. They've really been behind for a long time.
You know, it's fascinating to me how EuroHPC really shows that Europe wants to close that gap.
Yeah.
It's not just about having the fastest computers, though.
Right.
It's about tackling these massive problems that we simply couldn't solve before.
Exactly, like climate change modeling, developing new drugs and materials, you know, understanding the fundamentals of physics on a deeper level.
Really just pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, these are the kinds of challenges that EuroHPC wants to tackle.
Yeah.
So let's look at Schnepat's essay here. So he explains how EuroHPC came about in 2021.
Okay.
Because Europe needed to like really seriously boost their supercomputing capability.
Yeah, they were behind.
Yeah. So this led to them creating the EuroHPC Joint Undertaking, or JU for short.
The JU, right. And the interesting thing is, it wasn't just one country leading the way.
Right.
17 European nations got together to pool their resources and expertise.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
A truly massive collaborative effort. Now, Schnepat points out that EuroHPC is about more than just the computers themselves.
Yeah.
It's about creating a whole ecosystem.
Right.
And this includes developing specialized facilities that they're calling AI factories.
AI factories.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little more about what those are?
Well, they're designed to be like these central hubs for like the cutting edge of artificial intelligence research.
Right.
They're going to have these AI optimized supercomputers and these experimental platforms to help researchers and innovators develop and test these new AI applications. So by 2025, Europe wants to have 7 of these factories up and running.
Wow. That's a significant investment in AI. But let's get to the heart of it, the supercomputers.
Okay.
We're talking pre-exascale and exascale computers here.
Yeah.
Now, for those who may not be familiar, just how powerful are these machines?
So imagine if every single person on Earth, all 8 billion of us, were to perform calculations nonstop for years. That would only equal what these computers can do in just 1 second.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling. But how does that actually benefit people in the real world?
EuroHPC can actually impact our lives in a lot of ways.
Okay.
Think healthcare, climate science, energy, cybersecurity even.
Oh, wow.
It's not just theoretical. It's about solving real problems that affect all of us.
So it's not just like a scientific endeavor. It's really like a human endeavor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Schnepat actually highlights a few specific examples where your HPC is making a difference already, like the Destination Earth project, Destin.
Yeah, Destin. So they're using supercomputers to make incredibly detailed digital twins of our planet.
So we have a copy of Earth on a computer.
Essentially. And what this allows scientists to do is to simulate and study these complex things like climate change with accuracy like never before.
So like we have a virtual Earth to play with.
Yeah.
To see how things will change, what we can do.
Exactly. It can help us make more informed decisions about how to deal with climate change.
That's pretty incredible. And Schnepat also mentions how EuroHPC was used during the COVID pandemic.
Oh, yeah. Supercomputers were critical in making those epidemiological models.
Right.
To help us understand how the virus spreads, to predict outbreaks, and to guide how we developed vaccines and treatments.
So you can really see how EuroHPC can be used for like these urgent global issues.
Yeah.
But then beyond that, beyond these big urgent things, it's also helping us push the boundaries of research in other areas as well. Schnepat mentioned a project called BioXL3. What's that all about?
BioXL3 uses supercomputing to speed up research in the life sciences.
Okay.
For example, it's helping with developing new drugs and therapies by simulating how those molecules interact with each other.
So it's like understanding the fundamentals of life at an incredibly detailed level.
Yes.
Wow. This could revolutionize medicine.
It could. It could.
It seems like EuroHPC is off to a great start.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there are challenges too.
Yes, yeah. Every ambitious project has its hurdles.
Yeah.
And Schnepat acknowledges that. One of the biggest challenges is making sure that we use all this computing power efficiently.
That makes sense. I mean, you have this massive network of resources, right? making sure they're available to the right researchers for the right projects. That's a big job.
It really is. And on top of that, technology is always changing, especially with things like AI and quantum computing, right?
Yeah.
What's cutting edge today might be old news tomorrow. So EuroHPC has to be able to adapt and invest in the future.
It's a tough job to keep up with the times like that.
It is.
And then there's the environmental question. These supercomputers need a lot of energy.
That's true. Minimizing the impact on the environment is a big concern. EuroHPC is actively looking for ways to make these systems more energy efficient.
That's good. So it seems like EuroHPC has its hands full. Tackling global challenges, keeping up with technology. It's quite a journey. What are your thoughts so far?
It's their vision. That's what impresses me.
Okay.
It's this idea of Europe becoming a global leader in supercomputing and doing it through collaboration, shared goals. It's impressive.
I agree. It's inspiring to see this kind of cooperative approach to science and technology, especially in a world that feels so divided these days.
Yeah.
So we've talked about where EuroHPC comes from, what they're trying to do, the technology and some of the challenges, but I think we've only scratched the surface here.
We've only just begun. There's so much more to discuss.
Yeah, there's more to explore. Let's do that. We'll continue our deep dive into EuroHPC right after this.
Schneppat mentions the economic side of things.
Right.
But I think there's a lot more to talk about there.
I agree. It's not just about the science, right?
Yeah.
It's about how these advancements actually help the European economy and its people.
Exactly. EuroHPC could create new industries and high-skilled jobs.
Wow.
And boost existing sectors like manufacturing, healthcare, finance, even entertainment, all industries that need serious computing power.
Yeah, it could impact all of Europe.
Right. A ripple effect. And a key part of this is making sure that small and medium-sized enterprises, or SMEs, can actually use these resources.
Okay.
Because in the past, supercomputing has mostly been for big companies and institutions.
So EuroHPC is trying to make it available for everyone.
Yes, democratizing access to this technology.
I like that.
It could really help smaller companies innovate and compete. It's a game changer. And of course, we need people who can actually use this technology.
Yeah, we need the experts.
Exactly. Schneppat says that EuroHPC is putting money into education and training programs.
To train that next generation of supercomputing experts.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned some concerns about funding and transparency earlier.
Right.
Can you talk more about that?
Well, some critics say that it's not clear how the money is being distributed.
Okay.
They're worried that some areas or research projects might be getting more than others.
So it's important to make sure the benefits of EuroHPC are shared fairly.
Absolutely. We don't want some regions becoming supercomputing hubs while others are left behind.
Right.
Being open about the funding process is key for building trust and making sure resources are allocated fairly.
It's about fairness.
Yeah. And it's not just about the money.
Right.
It's also about the intellectual property that comes out of EuroHPC, like patents and research data, and whether SMEs will have access to that as well.
So there's this balancing act
between
encouraging innovation and making sure the benefits are shared widely.
Exactly. Finding that balance is key.
Okay. So Schneppat also touches on the geopolitical side of things.
This is where things get really interesting. Supercomputing is becoming a strategic asset.
Okay.
And Europe's investment in this shows that they want to be technologically independent.
So it's bigger than just scientific progress. It's about national security and global influence.
Absolutely. In a world where data is power, you need advanced supercomputing to be a strong nation and to compete globally.
It shows you how science and technology are tied to politics.
Yeah.
As EuroHPC grows, that connection will probably become even more important.
Probably. And it's important to remember that EuroHPC isn't the only one doing this.
Right.
There are other supercomputing projects all over the world.
Yeah, the U.S. and China are both investing heavily in supercomputing.
It's a global competition.
It feels like a race to the top.
It is, and the stakes are high.
Yeah.
Whoever leads in supercomputing will probably have a big advantage in shaping the future.
So EuroHPC is a major step for Europe, but they need to keep up with what's happening global.
Yes, and it's not just about having the fastest computers.
Right.
It's about creating the best applications, attracting the best talent.
Finding the best people.
Yeah, and building the strongest ecosystem.
It's a big challenge.
It is. Looking ahead, what do you see as the biggest opportunities and challenges for EuroHPC?
It's a good question.
I think one of the biggest opportunities is when supercomputing combines with other really new technologies like AI, quantum computing, and biotechnology.
Creating this synergy.
Yeah, where these technologies help each other and lead to big discoveries.
And solve those really big problems.
Exactly. This could revolutionize so many fields. Personalized medicine, materials science, climate modeling, space exploration even. It's about solving humanity's biggest challenges and creating a future we can't even imagine yet. But of course, there are challenges too.
What kind of hurdles will they need to overcome?
A major one is making sure ethics are a priority.
Right.
These technologies are so powerful, we have to make sure they're used responsibly and for the good of everyone.
And to make sure they don't make existing inequalities worse.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's the challenge of public perception.
Yeah.
We need to explain these complex technologies to everyday people.
In a way they can understand.
Yeah, so they can see the benefits.
Right. Building trust and making sure people see these advancements as a good thing.
It's crucial. And of course, there's cybersecurity.
Of course.
As these systems become more powerful and connected, they also become more vulnerable to attacks.
So protecting these systems and the data they hold is critical.
Absolutely. So EuroHPC has some big challenges, but also incredible potential.
It's a reminder that with great power comes great responsibility.
Well said. Before we wrap up our deep dive, I want to go back to something Schneppat emphasizes the importance of international collaboration. It's a key point. While there's competition, everyone knows that no single country can tackle these global challenges alone.
Right.
EuroHPC is actively looking for partners in other countries and institutions.
So it's about sharing knowledge, pooling resources, and working together to find solutions.
Exactly. And that spirit of collaboration is essential for making sure the benefits of supercomputing are shared widely.
And that these technologies are used for the good of humanity.
Yes. It's a reminder that science and technology can bring people together.
To work towards a better future.
Yeah. We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
Schneppat's essay was a great starting point.
It was.
And it's clear that the story of EuroHPC is just beginning.
It is. We've explored the origins of EuroHPC, its goals, the incredible technology, and some of the challenges it faces.
It's been fascinating to really dig into the details of this initiative and think about its potential impact on Europe and the world. But before we conclude, I want to leave you with something to think about.
Well, I like where this is going.
Think about it. With all this computing power, what kind of breakthroughs, what kind of advancements will EuroHPC make possible in the next decade? And how will that shape, the future of Europe and the world?
It's a question that really gets you thinking. It's exciting to be following this world of supercomputing. Thanks to Schneppat's essay, we have a good understanding of what's at stake and what the future might hold for EuroHPC.
Yeah, it's such a dynamic field and with so much potential. It's been great to dive into this together.
It always is. Any final thoughts for our listeners before we wrap up?
Stay curious. Keep learning about EuroHPC, about supercomputing. This isn't just for scientists and engineers. It affects all of us.
Absolutely. Keep digging deeper, explore different viewpoints, keep asking those tough questions.
The future's being shaped by these technologies. It's up to us to understand them, engage with them, and make sure they're used for good.
Well said. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into EuroHPC. We hope you've learned something new about the power and potential of supercomputing. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.